we have win total predictions coming up for Caesars NFL, and here is a look at it. So you got Buffalo, Green Bay, Tampa Bay 11.5, Kansas City, the Rams, and Cowboys at 10.5, San Francisco, Denver, and the Chargers 10. Then at 9.5. Pretty much everybody in the AFC North except the Steelers. So Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Indianapolis, and Tennessee. 9.5 wins the over/under. You know what, Scott? Remember, 17-game season. That probably feels about right because you don't know how available Deshaun Watson will be. I'm assuming, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm assuming he's going to miss some games. Don't know how many. But that probably feels 9.5, 10, probably feels pretty right.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was looking at that earlier. And, the teams up at the top are the teams with kind of weak divisions. Buffalo, there's not an automatic number 2 that you love in the East. Dallas is up there, Green Bay. But the Browns division is different, right? The AFC North is different. So is the AFC West.
Yeah.
So, you kind of look at that and go, okay, well, the Chiefs are still high, even though they're in a really difficult division. And then you got the Browns, Bengals, and Ravens lumped together. To me, it says, well, you better get the over if you're going to try to go to the playoffs, right? You got to get to 10 wins to have any chance, I would think, of going to the playoffs this year, which means you got to get to the over. So it's really interesting. To me, that signals that Deshaun Watson probably won't be suspended very long, because I think once you start thinking, does he miss 6 games, and you go 2-4 in those 6 games, then all of a sudden you got to go, whatever, 8-3 in the other 11, right? If I'm doing my quick math, and that that's a tall order in a tough conference in a tough division. So I don't know. My inclination right now would be take the under, because you don't know how long Deshaun Watson's going to miss. But if things play out and he's able to play most of the season or all the season, then that's a really interesting number.
Yeah, and the flip side of it is, we say this all the time. The folks in Las Vegas didn't build all those high rises by being wrong. They're usually pretty close, and those, there's a reason those win totals are usually pretty darn close, and that's why.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And even if you look at last year, I thought they're going to win a bunch of games and go over it, and they didn't, because a couple of things go wrong. It was a high win total last year. I had a golf buddy of mine who swore the under was going to hit. Like, that was one of his favorite prop bets out there. But that Vegas always seems to know what that kind of pushing point, right? What that push point is that divides you to go over or under. And they're so good at doing that.